Hey guys, Mellow Mike here with Truck Camper Adventure. We're in Prineville, Oregon today at the SherpTek headquarters where we're taking final delivery of our SherpTek truck bed. So stay tuned, it's going to be a big day. All right, I'm with Ryan Goodwin at SherpTek. He's the CEO and designer of the SherpTek truck bed, and we're again in Prineville, Oregon. Ryan, can you tell us basically what was different about this particular installation compared to what you've done in the past?
Well, we did a number of new little tweaks to it, especially for a short bed. So. Little things like this little section here, which is what we call our hip, is now attached to the flank on this one, so it actually folds down with it. That's a new feature. We moved some latches around and stuff to make the opening a bit wider, a couple of difficult things were we were working off a 2019 late model CAD for the truck, so kind of adapting that to a 2013 posed a few challenges and differences.
Right. So were there any other features that made this particular build stand out compared to what you've done in the past? Wasn't this your first short bed model?
On a Ram.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the first short bed Ram, and like I said, we did some things to open it up and optimize it, yeah, first Ram short bed.
Tell us a little bit about how you came about designing this. You the other day told me a little bit about the history. Can you provide a brief recap for our viewers and people who might be seeing this in the article?
Yeah.
How this whole story came about.
Well, like most truck bed camper owners or truck camper owners, I'll say, space is key, and it doesn't take too much to realize like a flatbed starts to buy that. Yep. So when I got my truck and camper in 2010, I knew I was gonna get a flatbed, and I started looking a couple of years later and did not like what I saw. I mean, everything was very heavy, kind of crudely built, didn't look good, everything was wrong with it. So I set out and just designed my own. I started with kind of a modular design, but ended up backing off and building a very simple, lightweight bed, simple aluminum and wood, and it was modular in its own sense. I could move and adapt things around, but it wasn't by any means a SherpTek. But people saw that over a few years of use, and were constantly trying to talk me into making it a business. If I showed you pictures of that one, you'd laugh, but people still liked it. So I started doing some research, market research, and
when was this? About what year?
It all happened from about 2012 to 2015 was market research and initial development, design and stuff. And the market research kind of came out as like, you ask 100 people, you get 90 different wishes out of it. And so I let that guide my design into challenging myself to see if I could design the overall system to be very adaptable
and modular.
And that's how it became modular.
Right.
And, it can be built to any length and width and adapt to any camper. So that's kind of how it happened. And the key things that came out of the market research are low deck height, lightweight, storage.
Right.
Those are the three main critical things.
The big three, right.
And then looks, got so many comments about people not wanting their truck to look like the cable company truck.
Right.
Just your standard service bed. So,
yeah.
And honestly, that was the most challenging part for me, because I'm not one who actually cares what my truck looks like that much, but I knew that customers would. So,
But your engineering background, can you talk about that?
yeah, started in the bicycle industry. Was in that for about 8 to 10 years, and then transitioned into unmanned aerospace, where I was designing launch and recovery systems. And as I told you, I was part of the first installation on a Navy ship, and did that testing, and then transitioned from that to the miniature side of it, the little stabilized gimbals that fly on small unmanned aircraft.
Right. Very cool.
I was doing that while I was starting SherpTek. That was kind of what helped me sort of start that.
Yeah, the thing that really drew me to SherpTek beds was your design is very unique. The extrusions that you use and the actual sandwiching technique. I don't know what else you would call that, but I've seen the cross sections and it's very unique and incredibly strong. Can you talk about that?
Yeah,
Without divulging too many company secrets?
Yeah, I mean it's kind of the way aircraft are built. You have to start with thin gauge material, which is very flimsy, and getting it to be stiff requires, section depth, and that's kind of where secret sauce is in a lot of these designs is our extrusions and the materials we use and how we put them together are what make it strong and light, and it's why our beds have very little welding in them. None of the structural components, except for the mounting brackets, are welded, and if you can't weld thin aluminum like this and expect it to last long at all.
Right.
So,
right.
and I designed this thing to last easily as long as the truck, if not transfer to another truck and continue on.
Now, our particular build, we got your aluminum bumper. Can you talk a little bit about that and how that works? And I mean, it really looks great with the bed.
Yeah, it's it was kind of never intended on designing bumpers, but because we build typically to the width of the camper, the bed width changes, and every aftermarket bumper is kind of designed around a regular bed, and so they look a little strange. We can integrate with stock beds, but they rarely look correct on there. They look okay, but they just don't look fully integrated. And so we have a number of different bumper widths that really play with all of our design angles and integrate nicely, so it just looks like a clean part of the installation.
We were really happy to get our camera installed because it was in our tailgate, and of course with a truck camper you remove your tailgate, and so we never had that functionality. Very rarely did we have it, so it was nice to get that functionality
nice to see that
again. Yeah, that was really nice, and that was a really nice feature. And it's got two tow hooks on the back. What are they rated for?
9,000 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, so
very, very cool.
it's tied structurally to the frame of the truck.
Can you talk a little bit about the weight rating, the GVWR payload, how that works with your SherpTek beds? Because people are going to want to know, how big of a camper can I put in your bed and how that works?
Well, so ours are over-engineered, but they can't increase the payload of the truck. So the way we let our customers carry heavier campers is by keeping the weight of our system down, because a heavy bed means less actual payload for the truck. So I can tell you it'll take anything you throw at it, but at the end of the day you got to follow the rules of the truck.
So basically, if you get if your particular 1-ton truck has a GVWR with say 12,000 pounds and a 4,000 pound payload, then your beds are rated for that, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah, we look at a particular truck and we go to the highest payload option available, which is rarely what people have, but a 2-wheel drive, regular cab, no special options,
right,
gas engine,
Right.
You look at that. You look at the chart, and you pick the highest payload, and we design to that. So we don't dumb them down when it's crew cab, leather seats, every option available, and then the payload goes down.
Right.
It's still the same bed.
All right. Well, this is Ryan Goodwin at SherpTek. Just moved from Eugene, Oregon to Prineville, Oregon. Excellent location here. We love it here in Eastern Oregon, and I think it's a great location. Quick word about your new location and how long you been here.
We love it here. We moved here in January, and getting set up took a little longer than we thought. But this is the first installation out of the shop, and we're excited to be rolling. And we invite people to come visit us.
Awesome. So, any last words about this particular build? Anything that really stands out in your mind? Building this for the truck camper adventure rig.
The overall package. I mean, you've done a great job on the truck prior to this. So I mean, it just looks good front to back, start to finish. I know you had a lot of input into the camper itself and how it looks, and it's a very sharp looking package, all in all.
Yeah, we love it.
You keep the truck clean. I mean, all the options on here are very tasteful. It's not overdone. It's appropriately done for a truck camper rig that's meant to adventure. So I really like it.
Yeah, I forgot to ask you about the marine decking. What does that entail? Because like some beds are all steel, some have diamond plating, some have wood planking. I noticed that you guys use your marine decking. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, we actually offer a number of different decking options, but
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we offer different diamond, aluminum, or steel diamond plate if someone really wanted a really heavy duty deck to just toss tools into or whatever. But quite honestly, the marine decking can live up to all that. The problem is if you go with a metal deck, you're gonna end up with a horse mat or a rubber mat under your camper to keep it from just sliding around
right.
on ice skates. So I kind of searched far and wide, and the marine industry is what really has the appropriate kind of deck material that's chemical resistant, UV resistant. It's tough. It's kind of like a Line-X lining.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it.
Spraying Line-X.
It's really nice.
And the beauty is, if in 10 years, if it's looking really ratted and tatted and torn up, it's a replaceable item. So
relatively cheap.
Yeah.
So the one thing that really makes the SherpTek bed stand out in my mind are the flanks. Not everybody has these particular flanks. Most of the utility beds and service bodies and things like that.
Open them for that.
We can certainly do that. Yeah. I think that's definitely a trademark of the SherpTek bed, and we got some stuff in there already, but you can kind of see what it is.
Oh, look at this.
Yep.
It almost made off with our level. Yeah, so you can see the kind of space it opens up. It's always fun to see how people use it. I just tend to design modularity into everything. You can see it's got modular channels on the outside, modular channels on the inside. I don't know what people are going to do with them, but they're there for whatever you want. It's kind of funny listening to people sometimes, because they'll be like, well, I can see the inside, I'll use that, but I don't understand the outside. And the next person will come along and say just the opposite.
Right.
That one, outside ones make sense, but I don't know why the inside ones are there. But they're there, they're actually part of the structure as well. So they're the way I tend to design is I don't like single-use things. So everything I try to design, I try to make multi-use.
So the flank obviously is one trademark, a thing that really makes your bed stand out. The other are the channels that you use. Can you talk a little bit about those and how they work with your design? I think that's really what makes your beds modular, right? As far as the ability to adjust your D-rings and your guides and all that other stuff. Yeah,
so they're all our custom extrusions that I designed, but I designed them around some kind of some off-the-shelf hardware so that people can find hardware for it. We make our own kind of medium and heavy-duty hardware, that to use for tying campers down, mounting the bed, and any other kind of heavy duty use stuff. But they're all designed. You can buy all kinds of Mac track stuff, and that's what you see other people just bolt that down to the bed. But ours are actually a critical part of the structure of the bed. They're not just there for tie downs; they're actually part of the main structure. And again, that's the whole multi-use part of my brain.
Right. The other thing we like is the hidden tie downs and the turnbuckles. As you can see, we have the short fast guns in here by Torque Lift, and they're basically hidden, and so you don't have anything snagging on the outside if you do any off-roading. And so that's another thing that we really like about this particular design by Ryan, is the ability to do that and have all that hidden and not, be a hindrance as far as the outrigger effect, I like to call it, where they can catch on things and rocks, trees, limbs, and all that other kind of good stuff. I've had it happen before, and it's not fun.
Yeah.
So, all right.
But they're really happy and excited for you to get to use it and show people how you use it. It's fun to watch people sort of grow into all the different things it can do, and
right.
It's always kind of fun and interesting to see what people do with them.
All right, awesome. Thanks a lot, Ryan. We appreciate your time, and thanks again for a great build. We're excited to get out on the road and try it out. Again, everybody, we're going to be at the 2022 Overland Expo West in Flagstaff, and of course, you'll be able to see the rig at the next Truck Camper Adventure Rally in Quartzsite. That'll be next February, and may see it in another Overland Expo as well. Our schedule's still in flux, but we might be able to make one in Colorado or here in the Northwest as well. All right. Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks.